welcome to part 2 of our 3-part series with Mark Leeper. Mark is a sales expert that has worked with ABCI on a bunch of different projects, including trade shows. So we're glad to have him back again to talk about 3 things that you can do during the trade show to make it a whole lot more profitable and a whole lot easier for your sales and marketing staff. So happy to talk with you again, Mark. And last week we talked about 3 things people could do before a trade show. And this week we're talking about 3 things that people should do, and maybe even some things people should not do during the trade show. I know you probably have a few of those as well.
Well, yeah, there's your customers are extremely busy, mm-hmm. and you as a company representative are going to be extremely busy because there's more than just, again, waiting for people to show up at your exhibit. You've got to have your calendar really sharp.
Yeah.
Your show planner's got to be broken down to the increments of about 15 minutes, literally, which is a difficult thing for sales business development people like myself because, you know, you wander in and just want to go meet people and talk to people. Well, you've got to be very specific in terms of what you're going to do. So the first, referencing back to our last meeting, you've got to have appointments.
Yeah.
You've got to have targeted people, and you've got to prepare for those, obviously. And so you've got to do that. And then you have to have a plan to address, you know, new people that are going to wander up that you've never heard of or seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the great news about this group of people that we're addressing, you know, people in aviation overall are extremely professional and focused. You know, we're in a different, unique, great industry, so that I haven't bumped into too many people that aren't really competent at what they're trying to sell or message they're trying to relay. But you do have to have a really good presentation outlined.
Right. So even just like a 15-second, what do you say when someone asks, so what does your company do? Not just do the deer in the headlights. It's so complicated, I can't even begin to describe it to you kind of feeling. Having that nailed down to a 15-second, super simple explanation that will give them an idea of whether they want to continue that conversation or not.
Yeah, that's your elevator speech, basically.
Yeah.
So it needs to be simple. You know, there's 3 parts of this. You know, when you address somebody, it's the benefits that you can. Well, it's what you do, the benefits that can be extended to their company, and lots of times it's good to be able to reference another company in their industry that you've worked with or extended benefits to.
Yeah.
So if you hit on those, you know, points, we can do this. We're doing this for somebody in your industry already, and we'd love to have an opportunity to see if we can help your company have the same benefits. So it's that 3-part, you know, parts of communication, and it's really so easy, and it can be adapted to any type of business. Within a half an hour, you can learn to sell and persuade people just by understanding those things, you know.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And worth practicing too, because I think you feel a lot more comfortable if you've practiced that before the show, and then you show up and you're a lot more comfortable in your shoe,
right,
toe to toe with somebody.
Yeah, exactly. So another good thing that wasn't, I don't think I touched on, or we touched on in our last conversation, was you need to understand who your competition is, obviously.
Yeah.
Where they are at the show, what they're doing to promote at the show. You know, what type of specials are they offering? You know, it's never a bad idea to go over and talk to your competition. I mean, there's plenty of business for everybody most of the time.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a good opportunity at the show to meet who you're competing with and against, and find out ways maybe to support each other, because not every company can do exactly the same great job as you can, and vice versa. So
right.
Analyzing your competition is something to do. So you want to prepare for your 2 great groups, the appointments. You want to prepare for the new people that are going to wander up, and do some things to analyze your competition. And
Fantastic.
then process is real important. What is your process? Somebody walks up to you. What is your system? Are you trying to just, do you have a business card scanner? And this is, you've got to have this really defined, your business process there, so that it all transfers into your follow-up.
Yeah.
Because that's where everything falls apart 90% of the time is in follow-up. How are you going to get today's conversation documented, remembered, and positioned to follow up in the future? So, and Paula, you know more about all of the systems that are available to capture those leads and get them into CRM systems, of which you have, an incredible CRM system that we use and absolutely love in SharpSpring. If we don't capture the people, if we don't track those people correctly and have a process in place, I know I'm restating, but that process is not in place, and it's got to be consistent through your whole team.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. And any system is only as good as what you put into it. So, I know some people who actually have a pretty good manual system for trade shows where they, hot leads go in the right pocket, cool leads go in the left pocket. They write on business cards. You never let anybody see you do that because some people get really unhappy about defacing a business card. Some people write on little Post-it notes on the business card. So there's manual systems that you can put in your system later. Or, as you said, there's the card scanners, where you're scanning people's badges. And I think you need to give people some reason to do that because it's not very natural. I think it's kind of a cattle process or something like that, where you're saying, come here, let me scan your badge. It's kind of an awkward thing. I don't like it as much as the manual processes, but a lot of people do that. And the third way, of course, is when you just take pictures of the cards and send them to somebody like ABCI and have them actually process that for you, or Seabright. And ABCI and Seabright, of course, are working together on this. So we have some systems that you could utilize for those types of services that keep you focused on your customers and take care of some of that back end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The overall, I guess, positioning, or what you want to keep in mind, the most important thing you can do at this thing, at a trade show, is to be interested in other people and, make friends.
Oh, yeah.
And, you want to make friends and make money at the same time, but usually A becomes before B.
Yes.
And more, I guess, as much as I'm saying making friends, gather information about other people's needs and wants and some unique things about them or their family or their history or something like that. And you need to listen to people, and you've got to take notes, because the magic is in the follow-up. And if you use our techniques that we exercise in our follow-up process, you'll have such great returns compared if you don't.
Right.
Your mission really is to find out about people and listen to them at the trade show.
Right, and the people, not just the companies that they work with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you. That was a really great ideas there, and I think a lot of people have been taking notes, and hopefully we'll have a much better show this year than last if they do.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Thank you so much.
So, real quick recap of our discussion. Number 1, you want to pack your calendar. Number 2, you want to practice your elevator pitch and your product demo or presentation. Number 3, you want to be prepared to network and make sure that you do it well, and remember what you learn about people and take notes. And then the bonus is to know your competition. If you'd like to work with us on your next trade show, go to seabrightcompany.com/NBAA, and you can see the options of how we can work together.